Good morning, Teacher Robert. Good morning, classmates. Today, we will report about the patterns of stars. During the ancient times, people made up stories about the patterns of images that stars form in the sky. These patterns of the sky are called constellations. According to the International Astronomical Union, there are 88 constellations in the sky. Some constellations are named after objects, animals, or mythological creatures or deities that they resemble. Most constellation names originated from Greek and Roman mythologies and South European, Middle Eastern, and Asian cultures. Patterns of stars. There are clusters of stars that may be part of an official constellation. These star clusters are called asterisms. Pegasus Square is an asterism that contains stars from two constellations, three stars of Pegasus and one of Andromeda. Another example is the three stars that form Orion's belt, which is part of the Orion or Mighty Hunter, one of the largest constellations in the sky. Several constellations appear in many different positions in the sky as Earth revolves around the Sun. Importance of stars and constellations. Constellations have been part of human culture. They have been the focal points for stories and folklores of various cultures. Even before the dawn of civilization, people used the patterns of the stars in the sky for many different reasons. Ancient civilizations believed that God lived in heaven and that he created the stars. They also believed that the apparent positions of the stars in the sky were God's way of telling stories to people on earth. Different cultures around the world have their own interpretations of each constellation. During the early times, people used star patterns as farming guide. They looked at the stars for signs when to sow or harvest. Their agricultural schedule were based on the appearance or positions of stars. Summer or spring began with the appearance of the summer triangle, while winter began with the prominence of the Orion. For thousands of years, Polaris or North Star has been used as a guiding star and reference point by the navigators and astronomers. Polaris appears in the same place every night all year long. Ancient explorers have used Polaris as a compass, since it is situated directly above the North Pole and aligned with the Earth's axis. Polaris' location allowed the discovery of the America, the spread of the European culture and modern civilization. 12 constellations of the zodiac. Today, astronomers refer to 12 animal-shaped constellations called the signs of the zodiac. Describe the locations of the planets and other heavenly bodies of the solar system. They also use stars to study the life cycle of other stars and to learn celestial events that could have an impact on Earth. Constellations are landmarks of the sky. Without them, the billions of stars in the night sky will be viewed as a collection of random stars. Thank you for listening and watching. I will now pass the report to Vinny Stoll.
Popular constellations. Many people have a strong desire to attach importance to the patterns of stars in the sky. Ursa Major, or the Great Bear, is the third largest constellation of the northern hemisphere. It has a companion called Ursa Minor, or Little Bear. Ursa Major is also one of the oldest and most widely recognized constellations because it also significant in many cultures around the world. A part of Ursa Major is an asterism called Big Dipper, which consists of 7 bright stars, 2 of which are called the pointers. Because they point to Polaris, Ursa Major is a circumpolar constellation, which means it can be viewed in the night sky all year long as they circle the Earth's north pole. Orion, the mighty hunter, is one of the brightest and most known constellations in the sky. In Greek mythology, Orion has a sword that hangs from his belt. The easiest way to find it is to search from the asterism Orion's belt. Orion also contains Orion Nebula and 2 of the brightest stars in the sky, Rigel and Betelgeuse, which are seen in both the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. Orion is the best viewed in the western sky of the Philippines from August to December. Hydra, also called the water monster or sea serpent, is a long, slender, and winding constellation. It is the longest and largest constellation in the sky. In Greek mythology, Hydra is a serpent with many heads, which grew back as soon as they were cut off. Hydra is visible in the northern hemisphere during winter and spring. Claudius Ptolemy, 19 BCE to 168 BCE. Claudius Ptolemy was considered the most influential Greek astronomer and geographer of his time. One of the well-known constellations in the southern hemisphere is the Crux, or the Southern Cross. It is the smallest among the 88 recognized constellations, but also the brightest because of its 2 stars, called acrux, orbiting around each other. Sea explorers use acrux as a guide because it points almost directly to the Southern Cross is a mother constellation, and therefore no Greek or Roman mythology is associated with it. It is featured prominently on the flags of some southern nations such as Australia, Brazil, New Zealand, and Papua New Guinea. Astronomy and astrology. Astronomy and astrology are 2 different fields of study. Astronomy is the science that studies planets, stars, and asteroids, and galaxies, the properties, and the relationships of the celestial bodies to research and observation. Astrology is the study of the stars. Astrologers believed that the positions of the celestial bodies have effects on the lives of people and events on Earth. Thank you for listening.